Hey everyone, Justin here for S&S Archery. In today's gear video, we're going to be looking at a new tripod that we just started carrying here at S&S. Today's gear video, we're going to be looking at the Aziak Backcountry Lite Tripod. Alright guys, in today's video, we're looking at this new Aziak Backcountry Lite Tripod. Now, if you know anything about S&S Archery, if you've been to our website, on our online store, if you head over to our tripod section, you're not going to see a whole lot of options out there, and that's simply because we only sell gear items that we actually use and that we actually trust. So to add this Aziak to the lineup, we're really excited. So first things first, we'll get into some of the specs and then we'll talk performance. When we look at this tripod, very sleek, very small in design. I absolutely love how the profile is. When you put this in your pack, you're really not going to even know that it's there. As far as your overall weight, which is number one most important thing for us, is this comes in at 1 pound 4 ounces, so extremely light. You pair that up with the Wiser Precision Nighthawk, you're looking at 1 pound 10 ounces. So pretty remarkable. If you're an ounce counter, this is definitely something you want to look at. Let's look at dimensions. So from basically a collapsed form, 15.5 inches from the tripod, the top of it to the bottom of the feet there, so 15.5 inches, and yet this is going to expand to 45 inches with the center post, the center column raised all the way up. So very comparable to our Slick 624. So at that 45-inch mark, this is definitely a tripod that you're going to sit down and use from a sitting position. It's not a tripod that you're going to want to stand a bunch. You can lean over and glass at small periods of time, but this is primarily for guys that do most of their glassing while sitting down. As far as the build quality and the components of this, carbon fiber legs, we have 3 leg sections, and then aluminum components. As far as the leg sections, like I said, we have 2 twist locking knobs. I definitely prefer these over a lever lock for a couple reasons. Number one, to deploy, open it up is extremely fast. Just takes a half twist. You're already open and set up. Another benefit to them is if you ever have any dust underneath those levers, if you go to close or open them, a lot of times they're going to introduce sound. So these are very quiet. As long as you make sure that the carbon is wiped down somewhat before you put it away, you're not going to have any issues. So the last thing I'll add about this tripod is the leg sections. The overall diameter is fairly large, and that continues all the way throughout each leg section. So unlike some tripods that get really thin down here at the small, this one remains fairly large all the way from the very bottom, the middle, and the upper section. So your stability is going to be maximized. Talking the leg angles, we do have 3 different leg angles on this tripod. So to start, this is our standard basically. And through my testing, everything that we found, all the guys here at the shop, the leg angle is right on. So a lot of tripods, if they're too narrow, they're going to be a little bit top heavy. They're not going to be as sturdy. This is kind of that perfect athletic stance for a tripod. So we're really happy with that. If you need to adjust the leg angle, you have this lever here. You can pull down, slide up 1 notch and lock it in. Now I'm able to use this into the side of a hill and really conform this to the surroundings that I'm glassing from. So here I'm kind of on a downhill slope. I want to basically set this tripod up to where it's nice and level, and yet I'm able to just comfortably have it nice and level. I'm easily able to do that with this setup. And then your last adjustment here is basically almost flat. So one thing that's cool about this Aziak is they do give you this small center post column. So if you're into photography, you don't want to run the center post at all. Maybe you're a guy that never uses that component of raising and lowering your glass. You can use this small adapter here. It just takes place of that. And then your overall height of your whole setup from the top of the mount to the bottom of the tripod, you're looking at 3 inches. So 3 inches to 45, there's a ton of room to do a lot of things with this tripod. As you can see there, really fast putting this away. All right, so moving into the center column of the tripod, down at the bottom we have a spring-loaded hook. So if you're experiencing a lot of wind, you can hang your pack from it. It's just going to sturdy the tripod up even more. And a little bit different design than most of our tripods. You can see here The center column is triangular. So this aluminum triangular shape really helps the legs collapse. They don't come in conflict with it. It just creates a very sleek profile. I absolutely love that about this tripod. Another thing that all of us here at the shop are really impressed with was just how stable this triangular system is versus a cylinder shaped. For whatever reason, it just bites down really hard, creates a very sturdy and stout product. As far as the connection point for either your ball head, the Weiser, your VA5, whatever head you're using, we have a 3/8 thread. It's going to accommodate most of your tripods. And then on the bottom of this top plate, we do have a set screw. So that set screw is giving you 2 points of contact. So if that head ever starts to come loose, that set screw is just going to ensure that it's not going to on you. You also have this O-ring gasket on the bottom side. So if this, as you go to shut it, it creates just a nice quiet dampened sound. Very nice to have, just a little added feature that they thought of when they built that. As far as the last spec I'll get into is Aziak has this rated at carrying up to 14 pounds. So depending on what head you're running, a lot of that has to go hand in hand, but 14 pounds definitely going to support any and all your spotting scopes, your big camera lenses, and definitely your binoculars. So you're not going to have to worry about, this thing being unstable as far as the weight distribution goes. All right, so now that we've covered the features and the specs of this tripod, it's time to talk results, some of our test findings with this new tripod. And honestly, everybody in the shop had their hands on it. They all confirmed that it's definitely going to be a fantastic product. There's no shying away from it. A lot of the guys in the shop here are highly thinking about switching over to this for next fall, especially the guys that are ounce counters. So through all the stability testing, setting it up with spotting scopes, binoculars, overall very impressed with its overall performance. I like the fact that the legs are long enough so you can really shape it. You have the 3 different leg angles to really conform it to the ground that you're actually sitting on. That center post column being able to just solid the whole system up, be super sleek in design, come in at 1 pound 4 ounces. Pretty phenomenal. So I highly suggest you guys check out this new Aziak Backcountry Light Tripod. If you guys have any questions about this or any of the other videos I've done in the past, please feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email. We'd be glad to help, and thanks for watching.